week 1 of our Fundamentals Level 1 class. If you have any questions on anything we covered today in class, you can email me at iretribal@yahoo.com, or you can find me on Facebook and shoot me a personal message there. And for more information on classes, visit www.iretribal.com/class info. Have a good time, and I'll see you next week.
This is week 1. And before you know it, it'll be week 5, because that's how quick June went. So I hope it lasts a little longer, but I don't know. I guess it's all perspective, because the days are just kind of going into one another. So this is week 1 of our fundamentals of the FCBD style, formerly known as ATS. I call it both, so you'll hear it referred to as both, just out of the fact that I've been dancing since '95, so it's a hard habit to break, so sorry about that. Normally, what we do in this class is we start fast. Go, 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 go. This time around, I'm actually going to reverse how I'm teaching it, and I'm going to do the slow motions first. The first week we'll do, this week we'll do Bodywave, Taxeem, posture, angle, feet, and all that stuff with those. And then we're going to do arm undulations and hand floreos. And I think the reason why I wanted to do that way was because the end of last session, we kind of ended with that stuff. So I kind of wanted to bring it into the forefront again here, and then we can kind of keep flip-flopping as we go. So there'll be a lot of slow internal motions today, a lot of, I like to think of it as strength training, because what I'm basically doing is working that resistance within my body to see what I can accomplish. If you guys don't already know, I think you all do by now, this paper here is actually a list of all the movements that we have, that we go through. It has everything from level 1. It has it all the way to combos and level 3 plus, performance, and then on the back of it has Irish stylizations of different dialects. This paper is posted in the announcements in the Irish Tribal online group. I suggest you print that off. I carry this thing with me everywhere I go. This is probably like my 3rd one this year. I carry it with me, and that way I can go through and see, 1, what I'm teaching, 2, where we're at, and I can reference back. Also, if there's anything specific on here in your level that you're just not getting, or you don't have the name of it, make notes on here, and then let me know specifically. That way I can touch on it. There's no point in me teaching a class if you're not getting all of the aspects of it. I want to make sure you have everything you need so you can keep moving on. I know some of you are repeating level 1, which is totally cool. Level 1 is probably my favorite class, but that's a different story. All of this, what I want you to do, if you are repeating level 1, I want you to find your edge in this class. So I want you to challenge yourself this session. So what I mean by that is you have all of the movements, you know the posture you're supposed to be in because you've either taken the intro in level 1 and now this again. But what I want you to do is be aware every time you move where your body's at. So if you're doing the Egyptian, we'll go over that next week. I want you to be aware of where your body is. And if it's not where it's supposed to be, I want you to feel how that feels, and then fix yourself so you can find that edge, so you can always be in the spot you're supposed to be. So this page, print it off. It'll be your friend. I love mine. All right. So this week, I'm going to go ahead and turn on a slow song, and we're going to do some stretching and get our muscles ready, because Bodywave and Taxeem, arm undulations, and Hand Floreos are very taxing on your muscles. So because we keep our arms up here for a long period of time, and we're doing a lot of the internal. And Deborah has upped the ante a little bit. She has wrist weights on. So, yeah, Rambo. I want to get one of those belts. I think it'll help my shimmy. I don't know. It may not do anything, but I want one. So, okay. But yeah, so I want to go ahead and get into a slow song. We're going to do some stretching, and then we're going to go right into dancing. muscle groups. So that way we can kind of feel where things are supposed to be. And that's what I really want to dig deep into this session. So we're going to go ahead and go into our opening meditation. And I want to do this every week. And I meant to do it every week, last session. And I forgot. So it's that. But I want to go ahead and make sure I get into it every session or every day. That way it keeps you centered. It's not really a prayer, it's just more like a meditation and something to ground you, okay? So, arms go above your head, nice and big. Gather everything in, bring your hands to heart center. Alright? Open your fingertips together, and you thank the people in the room that you're dancing for. The lotus flower goes up, and that's rebirth out of the darkness. Go down to the floor. If you can't go down to the floor, don't. Just put your hands down and you're good to go. Touch the floor, touch your ears. This is being thankful for the music that we listen to. Touch the floor, that's thankful for our dance floor. Our head is our teachers. Heart is ancestors. Open, this is everyone we dance for and with. And then we pick that all up, gather it all together in one big happy heart chakra here. So that's our gratitude. I love doing that. I always forget that I love doing it until I do it. I still get goosebumps doing it, so it's kind of cool. And it's really cool, it's even better when you're doing it like with your troop and your friends because it's just really cool. I'm a dork. I love it. All right, so first thing we're going to get into is our posture. Just to touch on it, we dance in our ATS box. In your ATS box, if you took the intro class, you know that I also give you an ATS hoop. That ATS hoop is where your arms are going to be. So if your box is here, the ATS hoop is directly right in front of your box. And your hoop is the length of your arms, and it goes out as far as your arm goes. So it starts in this right front corner at the bottom, goes up and around, comes back around and up. You go out forward, around and up. Out forward, around and up. And I'll do it this way so you can see it. It's out to that corner, around, and up. Out to that right front corner, around, and up. The reason why I like to do this and I like to give you a hoop is because I like big arm extensions, okay? And in ATS or FCD style, we like to take up space, and so you want to be as big and as fully, use all the negative space you can to get a bigger look out of movement. So our movement may be here nice and internal, but everything's really exploding out. So you're getting that energy and you're exploding out. So starts above your head, comes around, front. Also, I like doing the hoop because sometimes we have a tendency of doing this and coming really close to our body. And once you have your jewelry and your bra and your hip scarf and everything else on, getting tangled, it happens. I've gotten tangled a lot. I've ripped a lot of costuming because of it. So come around, just use that big hoop to come around and up. And you're also not going to cover your face. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. So that's where our arm sweeps are going to be. As far as your posture goes, you're in your box, and your box can be big for right now, but when you start performing more and dancing more, you're going to actually find that your box shrinks because bigger is not necessarily better when it comes to these movements. So your toes are in the front left corner, okay? Your knees are nice and bent. Your hips are nice and loose. You're here. Don't stand like this because you can't really shimmy when your legs are straight. So nice and soft and bent. You're going to take your chest. Lift your chest up. So when I say lift your chest up, I don't mean that. See how it arches my back? What you actually want to do is more like a corset. So you want to take your ribs, your intercostal muscles here, and roll them in, and then bring your whole body up, which brings your chest up. So what that does is lace in and then goes up. Okay, so do you remember when you were little, your grandparents would, or anybody taller than you because you were small, still happens to me, I'm 5'1", comes up behind you and they grab you and they lift you up like this, that whole feeling? That's what you're kind of trying to do, that big extension, okay? So if you feel your back doing this, that's going to put a lot of pressure on your lower back, and it's actually going to cause you a lot of pain. Dancing should be fun, never painful. So we're here. So lace up your intercostal muscles, your rib muscles, and then lift your chest, okay? Take your shoulders, put them to your ears, and then roll them back and down into your back. All right? So if you're here, once you roll those shoulders back and down, see how my arms automatically come up? They just come up. That's just what they do. So we're here. Nice. Knees bent, loose hip, corseted up, chest up, and our arms here. So we obviously don't dance facing the left corner. You're going to take your right arm and you're going to extend it back using your back muscle to open up. So if we're standing like this, right, you don't want to do this. Because see how all that's twisted? That's going to hurt my back. I have 8 curves in my spine, so I tend to baby my spine a lot, and my knees. My knees are bad too. But I baby them a lot, so you don't ever want to twist. If you twist, it's going to hurt. So you're here, you're going to take this lat muscle here, and you're actually just going to take your right arm and pull it back. So I didn't move my chest at all. I just opened my arm up to my audience here, okay? Toes are in the corner, my body's here. This is where I'd say 75% of our movements are. This is our very severe performance angle here. We have a secondary performance angle, which is about 1 inch to the right. So your toes are in that left-hand corner, okay? So if you think of, I'm actually going to get my clock face right this time, ha-ha. If you think of a clock face, you have 12, 11, 10, 9, 6, 3. Okay, you can't see that, but I'll take a picture of it. So you have 12, you've got 3, you've got 6, and you've got 9. Okay? So when you're standing in your very severe performance angle, your toes are at 10 o'clock in that corner. All right? So when we do a secondary front or a secondary angle, all that is a less severe performance angle. So what you do is you move your toes about 1 inch, and it would be your 11 o'clock on your clock face. So it goes from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. It changes your body that much. So our body wave is done here at the 10 o'clock, but then our Taxeem is done here at that 11 o'clock. So it is literally 1 inch. So we'll go over all the movements that actually go in the different positions. But yeah, it's not that much. So if your movements go flat, you've gone too far. So 1 inch. 1 inch will save your life. I don't know if it will or not, but we're just going to say it will. So we're here. So knees bent, tucked, and I don't mean tucked like this. I just mean like zip up your lower abs. Roll in your rib muscles, lift your chest, roll your arms back and up, and open to your audience here. Okay? This is where our arms are when we're in position 1. Position 2 is above our head. Nice soft curve. Not here, not here, but a nice soft curve here like the goddess pose. Go back down to position 1. Go back down to position 3, which is at your hip. Everybody's hip is at a different spot. My hands actually hit me almost mid-thigh because I've got really long arms. If you have short arms, put them up here. It's totally fine. If I do this, I look like I'm mad or I'm waiting for somebody, right? You don't want to see me dancing like this. So you want it to be nice and nice soft curve there. So you're here. So position 1, position 2 above your head, position 1, and down. Remember, you're leading with your elbows. So if you take your hands here, turn your hands to the back of the room, your elbows will automatically go up. All right, so when you lead with your arms, you're leading with your elbows up. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about elbows. So we're here. If you turn, once your arms are here, all right, and you turn your hands to the back of the room, your elbows will automatically go up. It's kind of hard to put your elbows down when your hands are pointed to the back of the room. If you look at my arms too, if I have my arms like this, see how nice my angel wings are? They're really not there. But if I do this, like, hello guys, how you doing? I can wave from like across the hall. Like, woohoo! All right, so take your arms and just engage and bring it up. So basically what you're doing is you're engaging your entire core. So, drop your arms. When I say engage your core, most people will do this. Right? They'll be like, look at my core, it's nice and hard. But when I say engage your entire core, watch. Everything gets engaged and becomes uplifted. So you have to engage your entire core. So if you think of our ATS posture or fat chance posture, it is basically engaging your entire core instead of just your core. You want to do your arms and everything. So arms in the back of the room, you're here. That's going to make your arms, A, stronger. 2, it's going to have those elbows uplifted. And it's going to make your arms actually move with purpose and as one unit. So instead of moving your arm like this and like this, you're going to move your arm like this and like this. So you're leading with that elbow up, 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 as opposed to going up, okay? So engage your entire core. All right, any questions about posture? All right, so when we do our arms in position 1, position 2, this is split arm 1, elbow up, and this is split arm 2. Those are pretty much the split arms we use as 1 and 2, okay? So position 2, position 1, arms on your hip, or hands on your hip, sorry. Position 1, position 2, split arm 1, split arm 2. Okay? So those are the arms we're going to be using today. Alright, so the first movement we are going to go into is our body wave. When you're doing your body wave, you're going to try to get a nice, big, internal rotation. Okay? So your body wave looks like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What you're going to avoid doing is 1, 2, 1, 2. See how everything's moving with me here? Everything does not have to move. Your torso has to move. Your body wave is basically the upper half of your aerobic. Okay? So when you go to actually move your aerobic and you're doing, or not your aerobic, your body wave, and you're going like this, it's a lot harder to control it and it looks a little funky. So, body wave, chest goes up and forward into that left-hand corner. So up, rolls back, down, and goes back to your neutral. So 1, 2, roll back, neutral. 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 1 is up and forward. 2 is up as high as you can get it without arching your back. Up, rolling back, and then rolling slowly down to do that undulation. Okay? Try not to sink too much. You're going to sink a little bit, but try not to sink too much. Your arms are actually going to be, when you're in your performance angle and your arms are in this position too, you're actually, I call it an old man chair, because I feel like I'm just sitting down. But your arms are here, and your elbows are actually a little bit forward. So you see how when I put my elbows forward, my chest concaves a little tiny bit, but not a whole lot? That's where you want your chest for your body weight, because it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you're really trying to get it all in here without using your legs to help you. Your hips are going to move some because they're attached. If you can figure out how to do it without, then you're like pop blocking, and it's all good. So body weight. When we do our body weight, we either have both hands in position 2 here, one hand up, or that split arm 2. Okay, but we're going to start with just one hand up, our left hand into the corner. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2. Up, roll back. Up, roll back. Up, roll back. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Up, roll back. Up, roll back. Both arms down. Up, roll back. 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 Okay? And like I said, that's done in that big, severe performance angle here. So, when your hand is up, we're kind of going to learn the hand Floreos and the Bodywave at the same time. That way, you can actually get used to doing them at the same time. So, I like to pretend that there is a pole here, and when my chest goes up, I actually do the beginning part of my Floreo here, and my chest goes back. I do that last part of my Floreo that comes around, and it goes back to neutral. So your Floreo is flip around, bring your hand back, wave goodbye, and grab your shot glass. Again, if you want to think about a shot glass. So flip it over, back, around, flip, back, around, flip, back, around. So that's our regular Floreo. So flip back around, flip back around, flip back around, flip back around. And I do have some hand Floreo drill videos that I'll put in the group. That way you guys can see them. It's kind of hard, I know, to see them via the live streamy, zoomy fabulousness. So the video will help. Okay? So, Bodywave and hand Floreo. We're here. You flip your hand over, push back, wave goodbye, and come back to neutral. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? I will always do my Floreo out here when my arm is nice and out. That way you guys can see it. Because since we are all improv, we want to make sure that all of our movements are in sync. Not the boy band, but dancing. Unless you want to be the boy band, which would be really cool. But I love NSYNC. I'm sorry, I'm geek. So we want to make sure that all of our movements are matching. So people will be like, oh my God, that's so amazing. You guys are choreographing. We're like, no, we're not. We're just awesome like that, right? So we're here. So my hand will always be out here. I won't ever keep it here. It's like I'm hiding some little secret from you guys, but it'll be here. So 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now you're going to put your right arm in the air, and you're going to do a hand floreo above your head. Am I still frozen? Am I good? Okay. All right, so we're putting our right arm in the air for our body wave here. So, when your right arm is in the air, remember that you still have to do a full floreo with your right hand. Sometimes when your hand goes above your hand gets stupid. Because all of a sudden, it's like, what am I doing up here? And so, it happens that way with zilling too. So, I usually start, when I bring my arm up, I'll start here and I'll gradually bring it up. So it gets used to the fact that it's going to be up there. Just remember that when it's up there though, you're going to do that entire hand floreo and don't just cheat it because then you look like you're swatting flies. Okay, so we're here. So, start at your hip. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gradually up. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So your right arm, when you're holding your right arm above your head, you don't have to have it right here next to your ear, but have it this nice soft curve, not down here. Don't do your body waves down here. Your body wave is up here, and this is where it's at. Okay, so you want to have this nice, strong appearance with your full hand floreos on those. Okay, so we're going to go into our Taxeem, and then we're going to drill both of them. Okay. So, Taxeem is an emphasis of your hip going down. Your feet are grounded. It's done in that secondary performance angle, so it's done at that 11 o'clock. So, bend your knees, get all your posture engaged, and you're going to concentrate on that hip down. So it's going to go down, and 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 down. Now I told you about the old man chair, which is what I call posture here. Elbows forward, and you're sitting in your little old man chair. So you're here when you're doing your Taxeem. It's going to go down, 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 because you're actually sitting back into that hip. So you're here. It's going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Side to side, down, up, side, up, down, up. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Alright, so there's not a huge rock to it. It's not like you're doing the whole Axl Rose thing, but your upper body is going to go with your lower body because it's looking for stability. So if you're thinking of your Taxeem as an actual weight shift, so all my weight's in my left hip, and then all my weight's in my right hip. So my upper chest is looking for stability over the right, and when I do this way, it automatically goes to the left. So you're not purposely putting it anywhere, it's just naturally happening. So it's on the left, it's on the right, it's on the left, it's on the right, it's on the left, and it's on the right. Heels are planted. So plant your heels nice and good to the ground, ground yourself. All that energy is coming from the floor and coming up. A lot of times you'll see, if you look under my skirt, which would be really weird, you'll see my toes are actually in the air. That'll actually stop me from lifting my heels because I cannot lift my toes and my heels at the same time without falling. So there's that. That's my secret. So we're here. So like I said, I bring my toes up. So we're here. Hands on your hip, on that position 2 hip, or position 3 hip, sorry. So you're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So what I'm trying to do is actually move my hips as much as I can without moving my upper body a whole lot. So it's it's not this whole level, it's actually down, down, down. You want to make sure you're actually not doing a level with it. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So with Taxeem, you have choices. You could do arm undulations or you can do hand floreos, okay? So we're going to do hand floreos first. When you do your flipping over, I like to think of it as pushing my hip down with my thumb, and then I flip around, and then I push my left hip down with my right thumb. So it's going to go, right hip goes down, I flip around, and then I push my left hip down with my thumb, or my pinky finger, sorry. And thumb and pinky, and thumb and pinky, and thumb and pinky, and thumb and pinky, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I will sit and I'll do this super slow in front of the mirror and I'll exaggerate it. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 pinky, thumb and pinky, thumb and pinky, thumb and pinky. But then once I dance it, I even it all out so it makes more sense. But once I can remember pushing my right hip down with my thumb, pushing my left hip down with my pinky, then I know that's the how I'm going to do it. So my hand will be out, so everybody here will actually know, regardless if they see my hand or not, everybody who dances with me knows I use thumb and pinky, thumb and pinky, thumb and pinky. So as in my troop, they just know, even if they can't see my hand, which is very rare, they know that's what my hands are doing. For arm undulations, it's a little bit different, but we're going to drill these two, the Taxeem and the Bodywave, really quick, and then we'll get on to our arm undulations. So performance angle, posture. Floreos. I have a disclaimer on hand Floreos. When you're doing arm sweeps with your hand Floreos, try really hard not to do any more than 2 hand Floreos per arm sweep. The reason why is it becomes busy. So if you're doing this, see how busy that is? It's like I'm totally drawing attention away from even what my arms are doing. One, I'm not able to really control and move my arms as one unit, okay? They're just kind of going all willy-nilly. And 2, like I said, it's very busy, and it's going to make it actually harder for you to be able to transition smoothly and gracefully in between a couple moves. So no more than 2. So if you're here, you would start it 1 and 2 and. So that whole floreo should take one side, and then that 2 and should take that other side. So when you're working on your floreos, like I said, I'll post that video. Remember, a couple things. It's a hand motion, not an arm motion. Your arm is going to move a little bit because it's attached, and that's just the way it's going to happen. So if you're here, try to keep those arms at tabletop and really concentrate on that full extension of your hand floreo. Where most people get locked is going backwards. So here they're usually okay. It's here is where your problem will come if you are going to have it. Because hands don't normally do this, right? So what you'll normally see is, see how it's just kind of a lighter floreo? So I will do this lighter floreo sometimes because carpal tunnel, but I'll exaggerate my fingers when I do that one. So you'll see my fingers really exaggerate in with it when you're doing it. So what I want you to do is, even though this is the base of a hand floreo, okay, I want you to play with like your fingers really working and what works for you. When you're doing your hand floreos, your drills, or your practice for your hand floreos, literally draw them all in and draw them all out. In and out. In and out. I had a Spanish flamenco teacher once. We did this to a like it was like an hour-long song. It wasn't. But it felt like an hour-long song because she made us do this the entire song. And it was literally grabbing and releasing, grabbing and releasing. So what we were doing is we were getting a greater dexterity in our fingers. So when we did our floreos, they were stronger. If you ever get a chance to like watch my hands by themselves, sometimes I'll lock these 2 fingers and I'll do my floreos here. And these 2 fingers are really the only ones that are moving with that floreo. I don't know why, but it just, for me, sometimes I do that. If you think of your fingernails being wet when you're doing your floreos, that's also going to keep your fingers extended and separated. So don't try to do floreos like this. Really get your fingers extended. So no more than 2 floreos per arm sweep. So if we're here, it's 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2 and. When you take your floreo out, chances are your hand is automatically going to do a reverse floreo. Regular floreos, I like to think of them as pinkies up, so they're like, hey, so they're here. Reverse floreos, or these aren't pinkies, just thumbs, hey. But your reverse floreo is pinkies up. So I think of those as like your fancy tea drinking floreos, like pinkies up, we're fancy. So those, you're actually here, and you're flipping them over, out, and then you're waving. So you're flipping them over, out, wave. Flip, out, wave, 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 flip, out, wave. So these, the reverse Floreos are hard for my hand because nobody knows this. This is my deep dark secret. I have an extra bone right here and right here. So it is crazy. So my sister had an extra bone in each one of her ankles, and I was missing that bone that she had in her ankles. And so I have an extra bone here in my wrist, and she was missing that bone in her wrist. We're 5 years apart, so we stole each other's bones. So when I come this way, my hand will automatically lock here because this bone. So I really have to like adjust and push through it to go. So if you're having little like body issues like that, you'll figure out ways to work around it, because when I do it, you can't tell that I'm actually adjusting my hand to do it, but I am because of that extra bone. Okay, so I'm a freak, I'm a mutant. Okay, go here. So when you do your arm sweep out, chances are your body is automatically going to want to do that reverse Floreo, because when you bring your hand out this way, see how your thumb is automatically down? So reverse, and reverse, and reverse, and reverse, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and. Also, when you're doing your hand sweeps or your arm sweeps, please don't cut them short. Even if you have shorter arms, use your entire hoop. That's why it's there. So don't start here and then come to here and then come up, or here and then come up here. Really use those arm sweeps all the way around, all the way around, and when you come out, all the way around and up, all the way around and up, without straightening your arm, because you want to make sure you have that nice soft curve still. So don't shorten your arm sweeps. If you have shorter arms, totally cool. All you have to do is just adjust this portion of your arm. This portion is going to go down a little bit, and the bottom portion of your arm is going to give you that illusion, because this, when you get here, this is when you're going to start that second Floreo. So you're going to go Floreo, and, or Floreo, and. Even if my arm is short, Floreo, and. So there's little ways you can go to adjust that. So we're going to do one more drill, and then I will leave you guys alone with your Bodywave and your Taxeem. We didn't get to arms, but that's okay. We had a couple of issues on the computer. Sorry about that, but we'll cover those next week. I'm going to put the Hand Floreo videos up. I have to make a note of that. Hold on. One more drill. Julio. Alright, so I don't keep my feet in a very they're not ever still. So what I'm doing with my feet is to explain it to you. I do stay in posture here. The rule of a body is your body's going to go in whatever direction your feet are pointing. Okay? So I know that when we're dancing, our bodies go between this angle here and this angle here. Okay? So what I'm doing with my feet, if you can actually see them, is I keep my right, like all my weight is on my left foot because I know that ATS, the style we do, is a right foot start dominant. Okay, even though we work both sides, it's right foot dominant, period. So my right foot is always ready to go for the next thing. So you'll always see my left foot planted. So if you see my right foot like on the ball of my foot pointed in that direction, the only reason that's doing that is because I know that if I go to turn this movement, what we're doing, I'm heading in that direction, so it's easier for me just to do this, release my left foot, and my body automatically goes in that direction. You'll also see me lean back into my left foot a lot. That's to make sure I'm grounded, and it's also to check out what all the rest of my muscles are doing. So when I'm doing a Taxeem, you'll see a lot of times my right foot is free, or not necessarily free, but it's not like grounded on the ground. And that's because I'm trying to get my obliques to work a little harder for that Taxeem. So that's all that is. It has nothing to do with stylization, it has nothing to do with anything. All it is me checking my edge, finding my edge on that. So if I'm here in the Taxeem, going here, and you see me go back for the Bodywave and come back here and have like no weight on this foot, I'm still in my performance angle, but my right foot is actually here and it's getting ready to go into the next thing. So when I dance, I don't necessarily always dance for what I'm doing. I actually have a plan of where I'm going. So that, if you can do that, that will actually help you to not freeze when it comes to your leading, and sometimes you just don't know what to do next. You're like, what's next? I'm going to do this for the entire song because I don't know what's next. But your foot's like, I got this, right? So it's always like you're thinking one move ahead. That's all it is. So if you ever wonder, what are Sydney's feet doing? Sydney's feet are doing crazy shit. That's what it is. So we are done for today. It is a little after 7. We worked on the Bodywave, the Taxeem, we did the puja, we did our angles, postures, feet, we did our arm positions, we did our hand floreos, and I will get those videos up for you guys. If you have any questions, or if you want any additional exercises to help get your chest looser or more range of motion, 2 things. You can just ask me and I'll give you some things. And the other one is I do a conditioning class on Mondays and Wednesdays. So we do work on a lot of chest opening, and it's recorded. So not recorded, but it's live streamed. So you can do it when you want. But that also helps with that. And like I said, the hand flexibility and the finger flexibility. If you need help with any of that, I'm here, message me. I will be more than happy to help. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me for week 1.